Transforming the Shops at Iverson into the new safe community hub. DMV, get ready to enjoy the new food court. Opening late spring, early summer, featuring new restaurants like Chipotle, Quickway Hibachi, Tropical Smoothie, Wingstop, and free Wi-Fi. The Shops at Iverson, the original home of the world-famous Snickerdoodle cookies, is completing several cosmetic improvements to the mall interior, facade, and parking garage. The Shops at Iverson is the new home of GoWIN Media, comprised of the DMV's premier internet radio stations, GoGo Radio Live, and Win DC Radio. For updates and more details, check out shopiverson.com. That's shopiverson.com.
What's good, y'all? This your boy AJ Throwback, and I want y'all to please check out a show. A few interests are uncovered, every perspective is considered, all walks of life are represented, and indie artists from the DMV and beyond get their shine. It's the Balancing Act Radio Show, aka Bars, hosted by yours truly, Wednesdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app. And of course, it's all powered by GoWin.media.
Mayor Muriel Bowser and the Office of Cable Television, Film, Music, and Entertainment invite you to join us in celebrating over 40 years of musical history at the premiere of Straight Crankin', a go-go documentary at the Lincoln Theater, 1215 U Street Northwest, on September 10th from 6 to 10 p.m. Come dressed in black and white to support DC's own music genre and recording artists. Don't miss Straight Crankin', a go-go documentary. To RSVP, go to straightcrankinpremiere.splashthat.com.
You are live with a GoWIN radio show, hosted by Ms. Lady and Nico, the Go-Go-ologist.
Are you short on money? Is your computer acting up? Call my main man, Tony Ray. For $50, PC repairs include troubleshoot one computer using all the proper tools. Remove all viruses, spyware, malware, and rootkits on the computer. Repair any operating system issues, including boot issues, blue screens, etc. Apply system tweaks and modifications. Test operating system for proper functionality. Provide you with an estimate cost for hardware repairs or upgrades needed to provide a complete working PC. Call today. Tony Ray, 202-681-0326. Mobile services also available. He will come pick up your computer and drop it off. Most jobs are done within 24 to 48 hours. One more time. Call Tony Ray, 202-681-0326.
What's up, family? This is Reverend Tony Lee, the pastor of Community of Hope AME Church, lower level of the Iverson Mall, and I want to welcome you and tell you to come and join me, Community of Hope, each and every Sunday morning, 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 12 noon. That's right, 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 12 noon, lower level of the Iverson Mall. We say it every Sunday that we're the Community of Hope, where everybody has a chance. And we don't care who you are, what you've done, who you did it with. Don't care if you did it last night, woke up doing it this morning, but when you get to church, you're in the right place at the right time to become all that God has called you to become. Don't you worry about getting out your best suit. You come as you are, because God loves you just as you are. That's Community of Hope AME Church, lower level of the Iverson Mall. And did I tell you we got that crank? You need to get some further information or to watch us streaming online. www.hiphopenation.com. www.hiphopenation.com. This your man Reverend Tony Lee's in them. All right, I'll holler and I'll see you there.
Looking for a new look? Check out Hair Academy 2 in the Shops at Iverson, Hillcrest Heights, Maryland. You'll get quality services done by developing stylists and barbers. Senior discounts offered weekly and free barbershop services available when you present a flyer. Chemical treatments are also available. Call 301-899-9100 for hours of operation. Hair Academy 2 in the Shops at Iverson, 3705 Branch Avenue, Suite 1010, lower level, Hillcrest Heights. A new look is waiting for you at Hair Academy 2.
Deep in the heart of me. thought of having you near. And in spite of a warning voice that whispers in my ear, so I got you, baby, under my skin.
And that soothing voice you just heard right there is Mr. Curtis Johnson and the Eternity Band. You tuned into the GoWIN radio show right here on GoGo Radio Live, Win DC Radio, all wrapped up in gold, Win.media, coming to you live from the shops at Iverson. And I have my main man, who you just heard sing that song, perform it, arrange it. Mr. Curtis Johnson's in the house. Curtis, thank you for coming in today.
Hey, thank you, Nico, for having me here. I'm very glad to be here. You know, I don't get a chance to do a lot of interviews, but let's make it happen, man.
Hey, well, look, for someone who calls himself the Go-Goologist, and I've titled myself, well, actually, I didn't title myself that. I was given that title some years ago when I first got into radio. How is it that you're not comfortable, or I shouldn't say not comfortable, you're not used to doing interviews?
Well, interviews is something, you know, when you get comfortable with something, it's something you kind of do all the time, you know. Mm-hmm. It's just like you might do interviews a lot, so you're comfortable with them. A person who doesn't do them a lot are uncomfortable with them. Right. Now let's get back to that Go-Goologist thing. Yes. I'm not just a Go-Goologist. I'm just one of the Go-Goologists. Okay. So I'm not the ologist. I'm one of them. All right. Right? So you got Rick Wellman, you got Chuck Brown, you got John Buchanan, you got Don.
Oh, okay, wait. So, well, let's go to that point. So what is your definition of the Go-Goologist?
People who actually created the sound.
Ah. Okay.
So that's, you know, that's how I derive at it. People who created the sound. Then there are those who actually copy what the other people have created. Right. And there's those who actually patronize it. Right. The fans.
Right. Right. Well, and I put myself in the latter category. Because I definitely was a fan of the music coming up. But for those of you who don't know this gentleman, Curtis Johnson, and if you didn't get the opportunity to check out my post that I put out on social media, the various different platforms today, Mr. Johnson here is, now I hope I said it correctly, but you are the original keyboardist, organist with the Soul Searchers?
Okay, so my era started in 1978.
78, okay.
So, you know,
so you came in after some of the earlier...
because actually, you know, Chuck had a couple of albums before the Bustin' Loose album.
Right.
So I came in 1978, and I got out of it in 1990. and actually, you know, had planned to do a book on that era, the way it went down, you know, because actually when I first joined the band, man, you know, it wasn't any talk of go-go music.
Okay, so let's talk about that. When you first got with the Soul Searchers, and like you said, they already put out a couple albums. How did you, you know, find your way to Chuck Brown and the Soul Searchers?
So look here. So the way that and that's like what I intended to mention in the book. Ricky Wellman, you know Ricky Wellman.
Of course, rest his soul.
Rest his soul. So actually, Rick Wellman and I played with a band called the Dynamic Corvettes. So this was the #1 band in the Southern Maryland. So me and Ricky had played there for, I guess, about a year together, at least somewhere in that neighborhood. And so Ricky said one night, he told us, "Hey man, I'm getting ready to leave the band, right?" He said, "The band I'm going with is with the Soul Searchers." So everybody was kind of like, "Oh, Ricky, man, why you got to leave us, man?" So anyway,
what made him want to leave? Was it just a better opportunity?
Well, yeah, probably. Plus, I would say the Dynamic Corvettes was a Southern Maryland band, and him and I basically lived up here in D.C.
Oh, so it was a hump for y'all.
So yeah, it was a commute, you know, to go play with the band.
Right.
You know, and that's one thing I really loved about playing with Chuck and his band, because he was local. Right. That was his thing, you know, right around the area. I mean, most of the places I played with Chuck were probably like 20 minutes from where I live.
So let's get back how you got into the band.
So anyway, the way that went down was Ricky was getting ready to go with Chuck. So Ricky we was playing at the Caravan that night. Ricky said, "Yeah, hey Curtis, man, Chuck gonna be coming out to check me out, right?" So I said, "Okay." And actually, I didn't even know what Chuck looked like.
Did you know of him though?
I just knew of the band.
Okay.
You know, I knew of the band. And,
so the band was making a lot of noise at that time?
Well, okay. So, I used to come behind a band called the Aggressions. Do you know the Aggressions?
No.
Okay, so the Aggressions was like neck and neck with the Soul Searchers as far as who's #1 in this area. So, but really? We used to go out with the Aggressions. So, and John used to talk about Chuck all the time. He was John was a superstar guitar player. He used to talk about Chuck, you know, and this and that and other. And this and that and other, you know, I won't get into a whole lot of details, but get back to the question. So anyway, Ricky told me Chuck was supposed to come down and see him play. So at the end of the gig, Ricky said, "Yeah, Curtis, did you see Chuck?" I said, "No, I didn't. You know, not to say I knew who he was, but no, I didn't." So anyway, Ricky left, but before he left, he told me, he said, "Yeah, Curtis, Chuck asked about you," and I told him, "Yeah, you was a good dude, and you know, you had your own little business and everything." And so probably 2 weeks later, I got a call from Chuck. And he said, hey, my big brother, you want to hang out with us? I said, yeah, Chuck, I want to, but I can't come tonight because I'm sort of tied up, but I can make it tomorrow night. So, and they were playing at the Club LeBaron. So I didn't make that first gig that Friday night, but they were playing something, and I made that next gig the Saturday night, and it was all the way live after that.
All the way live. So at that time, you said 78, you joined the Soul Searchers, correct?
Yeah.
At that time, had Bustin' Loose, which was obviously the biggest song, probably, if not the big, you know, between that and the Butt, probably the biggest couple songs to come out of the D.C. area. Excuse me. Was Bustin' Loose already arranged?
They were actually playing Bustin' Loose when I joined the band.
Okay.
So all I had to do was adapt to it. Put in Curtis Johnson.
So what made Curtis Johnson sought after? Who are you?
Who am I?
Yes. I mean, a lot of people don't know exactly who you are,
Johnson,
what you do.
I'm an organist. You know, I'm always, ever since I was a kid, I wanted, you know, to play the organ. And eventually I got to the age where I was able to work and make my own money, and I bought myself an organ.
Mm-hmm. And what type of organ is that?
My first organ was a Wurlitzer. And then after I used that up, I got myself a Farfisa. And then, of course, what was really real sweet when, everybody knew about the B3. So, but I didn't have one at the time. Now I got like 4. But at the time,
I talking about the Hammond?
The Hammond, the B3. So at the time, Chuck had one already there. So when I hit the stage, all I had to do was jump on the organ and make it happen. And that's basically how it went down.
So when you said all you had to do was just fit in with Chuck, and they was already playing certain grooves, were there any grooves that you helped bring to the band yourself?
Yeah, actually, the concept for I Got You Now was my concept. And the other one was I Got You Now, and there was one more. I'll think of it in a minute. But yeah, there was 2 concepts that I actually brought to the table. Got You Now, and then there was one other one.
Okay. So playing with Chuck, and you said from 78 to when, 90?
1990.
Yeah, 1990. So
that was my era, And,
yeah.
We did a lot of hit records, Go-Go Swing, Run
Right.
Show, all them kind of songs was done in that era.
So exactly. I mean, basically the whole mythological thing about Chuck was developed during that time.
Exactly.
Because in 78 is when Bustin' Loose dropped, right?
No, Bustin' Loose dropped like 1980.
80? Okay.
Yeah, 80. Okay. I think we was coordinated somewhere around 79 or something like that when we went to Sigma Sound and we actually laid the tracks down.
Yeah, I heard. Y'all didn't go out L.A. to do that?
No, I think we went to Sigma Sound to do Bustin' Loose.
Where's that at?
I thought that was Philadelphia.
Philly? Okay.
But I'm not sure. We talking about some years back now.
Okay. So,
because now we recorded We Need Some Money. That was done at the power station. I remember that. And I thought that was in New York.
Okay. So you didn't do, other than the live tracks, studio tracks, you didn't do here in the area?
No. No. We did, we went, like I said, Sigma Sound, power station. And then, I don't know, maybe Chuck did do a few things local because he was working with Chris Biondo, and he's a studio guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we know Chris here. We definitely know Chris here. So
good.
So with those, so how many records did you end up doing with Chuck? Like you said,
practically everything from 1978 to 1990.
Well,
whatever was done in that era.
Okay. All right.
I'm not counting. I'm not keeping up with track. It's just songs that we did.
What was the last one that y'all put out in '90? Was it was that Big Bank?
Bank. No, I didn't do Bank.
You didn't do Bank?
We did. Okay. We Need Money. Bank.
Money been out.
Well, Bank and Money sort of sounded, sort
of
similar. But Bank, and matter of fact, I didn't even know it was a song out called Big Bank until recently.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, that's right. My brother called me and said, "Curtis, you know about that song called Bank?" I said,
yeah, we played on the station on the regular.
Bank. Bank. He said, "Yeah, it sounds just like We Need Some Money."
Right.
I said, okay.
It was the same concept, pretty much.
So I said, "Okay."
I think it sounds like one of those recordings that just got out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't think Chuck actually probably really wanted it out to do anything. Because probably, like you said, because why mess with the whole concept and what y'all was doing with Money? Because Money was so big.
Right. That was a Max Kidd song.
Really?
Yeah.
I Need Some Money is Max's song for his concept?
No, not his concept. He's
on the rights to
promoter.
Okay.
You know, I think it was done on Det Records, though they call it DETT.
Right.
You know, Max Kidd, and because I remember Max Kidd. Matter of fact, it was me, Chuck, and Max, and I don't know if there's anybody else in the car who rode up to New York in Max's Benz when we recorded it.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, wow. So where did y'all lay the music down at?
We did everything right up at Power Station.
Okay.
And the music was created, basically on the gigs.
Mm-hmm.
Leroy, the do, chords, follow, bass, boom.
So y'all didn't go in the studio and practice none of that?
No, not really.
Really?
Not money.
I'm just talking about just in general.
No.
Really?
No.
So Chuck Brown, y'all never went to practice?
We used to practice, but we never really practiced that song.
Oh, okay. You talking about that particular song? Okay.
Right.
All right.
Chuck used to have rehearsals, once a week.
Okay.
Sometimes we didn't rehearse much because we were busy all the time. When you got a band that's playing 6 nights a week, when do you get a chance to rehearse?
Y'all was gigging like that?
Yeah, Chuck had it like that. We was 6 nights a week. Every night of the week we had a gig.
So, I tell you what, we're gonna go to something new by you, and I don't know. Do you want to introduce it?
You talking about what? Because I got.
I mean, you only gave me 2 songs, bro. We just played one.
I got several new songs, coming. I got a tune called "Go Go Party" gonna be released. I got another thing called Live at 5. That's coming out. I got a gospel go-go piece in the midst of just now finishing, going to be coming out.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How soon?
Man, well,
before the end of the year?
Well, it's always hard to say how soon because, that's, I had hoped had been finished with it, and I'm still not, so every day we wake up, we never know what we're going to be doing, you go to work, you get off, you mess with your music, and if you got children, you got to have time for your kids. Yeah, you got a home, you got to take time for that. It's a lot of little things you have to do. So music is one of them. But unless you're one of those kind of people, the only thing you're responsible for to do is music. Then you got time. Mm-hmm. But in my case,
I got you.
I got a lot of things going on, and music is just one of them.
Right.
So, but it's the one that I, hope I'll be doing, 100% full time, because that's really where my heart is at, my music.
Well, I didn't know if I wanted to play this first. Yeah, let me play this first. Let me play this track right here first. Mm-hmm. This is called "Want to Want Me."
What is it?
"Want to Want Me."
No.
That's not it?
No.
Oh, well, that's how it was titled. So
where you see that at?
It's in the song.
I feel like busting loose.
What it says on it. That's how you have it titled.
I feel like
that's how it's titled.
Yeah.
Hey, this is an exclusive right here. You're tuned into the GoWIN Radio Show. Exclusive. Curtis Johnson.
Roach 'em on down. I feel like roach 'em on down. I feel like busting loose. Roach 'em on down. Roach 'em on down. I feel like busting loose. I feel like busting loose. Bustin' loose. I feel like bustin' loose. I feel like I feel like bustin' loose, bustin' loose, bust. freak-a-doo, freak, 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 freak-a-doo, you know that, freak, freak-a-doo, freak, freak-a-doo, freak, 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 freak. I feel like busting loose. Bustin' loose, bustin' loose. I feel like bustin' loose. I feel like bustin' loose. Again, get up. I feel like bustin' loose. I feel like bustin' loose. Get on down. Freak, 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 freak. Freak, 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 freak. I feel like bustin' loose.
Yeah. That sound like a reference. You're tuned into the GoWIN radio show right here on GoGo Radio Live, WinDC Radio, all wrapped up in GoWIN.media. And that right there was Curtis Johnson and his remix of Bustin' Loose. Let me ask you, since you, excuse me, since you played on the original track, Bustin' Loose, what was it for you? What was you thinking about when you was doing this remake of it right here?
I wasn't really thinking about anything. The way the remake came was kind of strange because it was parts that was already sampled, and actually when I started playing the beat and I started messing with those parts, I said, oh my goodness, you know what, this could be a whole nother thing. The first thing I think, man, Chuck would love to hear this right here. You know, he'd love to hear this because I can imagine how he take it, because it was another tune I made and he liked it and he put a little voice thing on it and it made it happen. We never did nothing with it, but it was just like me getting a taste of what his addition to the song would be, which really enhances it. So that's something pretty awesome.
Man, I really wish we had more time because I really like to get into it with you about some of the stories that you have to tell about, being on the, working with Chuck, because, everybody looks at him. We just had Chuck Brown Day. It just passed not too long ago. And, a lot of people, when you out there, a lot of people like to tell different stories, when they knew Chuck and whatnot. So, it's good to hear those type of things, but hear them from a direct member, a key member from that band. I'm sure you have some incredible stories.
Yeah, actually, there's probably right off the top of my head, different stories, different incidents, that when we were on the road, there was incidents about that. When we were, just practice, there's incidents about that.
Can you give us just one quick story?
Well, not really, because I have to tell the truth the way the thing went down. So I want to not say.
You want to preserve. You want to preserve some of these names and innocence.
For the I intended to write a book.
Okay. So, you gonna give me you can't give me a teaser.
Give you
make somebody want to read the book. Come on now.
Yeah. No, the book. If I ever get it completed, it'll be good.
I'm sure. You said, but if. That's why you can give us a teaser now.
So that's the only thing about it, like from day to day, we never know what we're going to do, from day to day.
Yeah.
That's why I have to use the word if, because if I be here tomorrow.
Okay. Well, let's hope you are, and let's definitely hope that you hear this Saturday, because this Saturday you can catch Curtis Johnson and his band Eternity. Now, right here at Iverson, You can catch him outside. We're going to be right out in front of the Burlington. The stage will be right out there in front of the Burlington. Curtis, tell us a little bit about your band, Eternity Band.
Well, let's see. I formed my band like 19, actually 2 years after I got out of Chuck. And I've sort of...
Y'all been playing since 92?
Yeah, off and on.
Wow, okay.
Off and on. And you know how bands go, the it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down, just the kind of band syndrome. You break up, you get started again, you break up, you start over, right now, Tillery just revived the Soul Searchers.
I was going to ask you about that. That's going to be one of my last questions about that. Why are you not playing with them?
Well, the only reason why is because I've invested a chunk into Eternity.
Right.
So, and
Did you get the call?
Oh yeah. Got the call. Well, actually, he's been working on that for a while.
Okay.
It's not nothing he just conjured up. He's been at it for years, and I'm glad to see him kind of finally get it off the ground, but I can't do it because I do this, my Eternity, and then outside of everything else I do. Right. The kid needed rest sometimes.
Yeah. But I mean, I know it's got, sometimes when you get those my men I was in the trenches with for years, and you get that call, it's hard not to pick up that phone and say, hey, I'm coming.
Yeah, most definitely want to.
Right.
But, what are you going to do? You do this or you're going to be doing that,
Right. Well, you're doing your own thing. You're doing the event here this Saturday for us. Tell the listeners and the watchers who are tuned in, whether you might be tuned into the Win DC Radio live app or on YouTube or on Facebook. We are there right now. Tell everybody what they can expect for this Saturday from you and your band.
Well, you can expect to hear some of the same similar things you used to hear from Chuck. Okay. And some of the same music, and then we're going to be incorporated some cover songs and then some of my originals. Okay. And before we go any further, I wanted to do a shout out for everybody who assisted me with the I Got You Baby tune. Nabest, Mick Jessup, Leora Fenwick, Tia Adi.
Hold on. Actually. Leora Fenwick, isn't that Charlie's wife?
Yeah, that's Charlie's wife.
Okay.
She actually, she assisted me with background vocals, and she actually wrote background vocals on that piece.
For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Charlie Fenwick, is he the one that put Sweat together? The original Sweat?
Hot Cold Sweat.
Yes. I'm sorry. Hot Cold Sweat. The old school. I'm talking about when everybody had the afros and still was wearing the bell bottoms. Was Charlie, was he the one that put that whole group together, or he was just a member at the time?
Well, you're asking the wrong guy.
Okay. All right. Well, we would definitely get him up here for that question.
I think so, but I won't sit here and say yes or I won't say no.
Okay.
I'm gonna say I don't know the answer to that question.
Well, you know what? That's honest. And we appreciate that. So
as far as I'm thinking, yeah, but unless you know for sure, you shouldn't say for sure.
Right.
Yeah, so let me finish that shout out for Janice mentioned, Byron Horn, Foxy Rob, Jock Johnson.
Oh, Jock too?
Yeah, Jock's on guitar, man.
Yeah, that's my man.
Yeah, and Kenny Gross. That's Kenny kicking drums.
Yes. He kicking for brasses right now.
So and then Zach Smith, he's the trumpet. He's a trumpeter. He actually wrote all the horn parts.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you got Vince Norman, who played saxophone, and Dan Haverstock, who played trombone, and Rob Folsom, he assisted me with engineering, and then Roy Battle, he handled the mix on it.
Okay.
And all this was done under Thump Studios.
Yes, indeed. That's Charlie's studio right there, Charlie Fenwick Studios. All right, so that's an A-lister list right there.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of good musicians on that list right there. So, will any of them be with you this Saturday?
Yes.
Okay. You gonna have the Congos out there too?
I certainly hope so.
Okay. All right. There we go. We get some of this old feel. So for all my old school listeners or listeners who just appreciate good music, because I'm gonna tell you, I'm not no young bird, and I'm not gonna profess, even though I do understand and love the youth that's out here as far as the music that they are playing, and I support them. But some of this music that they playing out here nowadays makes you really wonder, what is going on. So I can tell you, this Saturday from 1 to 3 p.m. you're gonna enjoy what you hear from this brother right here, Curtis Johnson. So Curtis, I really appreciate you taking time out of your day, coming through and telling the listeners what they got come to see them.
Sure, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah. So keep it locked right here on the GoWIN Radio Show, and we won't be having the concert series next Saturday. Actually, the church is supposed to have that day, so they got something going on. So what we'll be doing is coming back the following Saturday, and we'll have the good old Subtle, formerly known as Subtle Thoughts, and they'll be performing. So keep it locked right here. So we're going to go out on this right here. Curtis, I believe you are on this track right here, and we appreciate y'all. Yeah. You're tuned into the GoWIN Radio Show right here on GoGo Radio Live. Win DC Radio. All wrapped up in GoWin.media.
Keep what you got until you get what you need, y'all. You got to give a lot just to get what you need sometimes, y'all. Give me the bridge now. I feel like busting loose. Give me the bridge now. I feel like busting loose now. Busting loose in the evening. Busting loose can be pleasing. Talk about busting
One of the greatest breakdowns in go-go history, right here. You gotta love this pocket. You gotta love this pocket right here. I don't know no DJ that don't loop this right here. You know, that's what I should have did. Let's see if I can bring it back. Right there. Come on. Yeah. Come on, come on. Whee. Right there. Come on now.
just want my proper share. We need money. We need money. Talking about money, money, money. I don't need that wealth and fame. I just want enough to play the game. We need money. We need money. Talking about money, money, money. We need money. We need money. Ain't no other way you're gonna survive. You gotta have it if you wanna be live. We need money. We need money. Talking about money, money, money. Money can make you wanna do the do, but it can solve your problems too. We need money. We need money. Talking about money, money, money. We need money. Talking about money. We need money. Baby, we could have a lot of fun. It takes money and we ain't got none. We need money. We need money. Talking about money, money, money. A good love will give me chills and thrills. A good love don't pay my bills. We need money. We need money. Talking about money, money, money. We need some moolah. We need some moolah. Talking about moolah, moolah, moolah. We need some money. We need some money. Talking about moolah, y'all.
That's Curtis Johnson right there, y'all. That's Curtis Johnson right there. That's that Hammond he was talking about. That B3.
MasterCard and Visa, American Express. I ain't got nothing against no credit cards, but the cash is the best. I said MasterCard, Visa, American Express. I ain't got nothing against no credit card, but the cash is the best. We need money. About money, money, money. We need moolah. About moolah, yo.
think it's singing again. She got bumps like a truck, truck, truck. Thighs like what? Baby, night long. Hit it, duck.
Muriel Bounce Hauser and the Office of Cable Television, Film, Music, and Entertainment invite you to join us in celebrating over 40 years of musical history at the premiere of Straight Crankin', a go-go documentary at the Lincoln Theater, 1215 U Street Northwest, on September 10th from 6 to 10 p.m. Come dressed in black and white to support DC's own music genre and recording artists. Don't miss Straight Crankin', a go-go documentary. To RSVP, go to straightcrankinpremiere.splashthat.com.
Hey man, it's your main man, DJ Batman, coming to you live from GoGo Radio Live. Right here, each and every Friday, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Tune in and turn up for my rush hour party. Let's get the weekend started together. Y'all ready to party? Y'all know how I get down, man. It's the one and only DJ Batman. You know what I'm saying? It's showtime.
What's good, everybody? This your boy AJ Throwback, and when I'm plugging away at work and need a shot of energy, I'm tuned into the hot topics, dope music, and wild styles of my brothers and the kings of Monday night, Coach Taylor and Ransom Reddick. It's Breakout Kings Radio, Mondays from 8 to 10 p.m., only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWIN.media.
On Crank Hunting with Go-Go Craig, I go searching for the freshest crank on the planet. Every Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern, I bring you 2 hours of the hottest new go-go music, go-go mashups, and bootleg go-go remixes I can find.
Everyone in Jamaica wants to hear more mashup of go-go tunes and other styles of music.
And so do I, but the problem is I'm running out of crank, so I'm looking for a new connect. And that's when it hit me. I do what we do in sound system culture when we need producers to send us music. I'm holding a sound clash.
Go-Go Craig is holding a crank clash, where two songs will battle head to head to see who cranks the highest.
So any go-go bands or producers who want to compete in the crank clash?
King April is calling all of the bedroom producer, sound system, and go-go bands to email gogocraig@gmail.com.
Remixes of classic go-go songs that mash up of go-go tunes with other styles of music.
A new crank clash every Saturday at 8 p.m. only on GoGo Radio Live.
What do you want from life? Success, happiness, money, fulfillment? Here's your chance to create all that and more with a new career in cosmetology and professional barbering. Hair Academy 2 is an education program designed to teach you all you need to know to succeed in the wide-open beauty industry career field. Hair Academy 2 is located in the shops at Iverson, 3705 Branch Avenue, Suite 1010, Lower Level, Hillcrest Heights, Maryland. Our school prides itself on honesty, integrity, and service to our students and customers. While you're learning the skills needed to succeed, you'll be serving the community by providing them with quality services, offering senior discounts weekly on our clinic floor, and our barbershop is running free hair specials when presented with flyer. For more information, contact Binta Campbell in the admissions office at 301-899-9100, Monday through Saturday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Create your success story with an exciting career in cosmetology and professional barbering at Hair Academy 2. Classes are filling up fast, so call today, 301-899-9100.
What's up, family? This is Reverend Tony Lee, the pastor of Community of Hope AME Church, lower level of the Iverson Mall, and I want to welcome you and tell you to come and join me, Community of Hope, each and every Sunday morning, 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 12 noon. That's right, 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 12 noon, lower level of the Iverson Mall. And we say it every Sunday that we're the Community of Hope, where everybody has a chance, and we don't care who you are, what you've done, who you did it with. Don't care if you did it last night, woke up doing it this morning, but when you get to church, you're in the right place at the right time to become all that God has called you to become. Don't you worry about getting out your best suit. You come as you are, because God loves you just as you are. That's Community of Hope AME Church, lower level of the Iverson Mall. And did I tell you we got that crank? You need to get some further information or to watch us streaming online, www.hiphopenation.com, www.hiphopenation.com. This your man, Reverend Tony Lee's in them. All right, I'll holler, and I'll see you there.
Time to turn up with the GoWIN Radio Show on GoGo Radio Live and WinDC Radio, powered by GoWIN.media.
Legends Nightclub, are y'all ready? Legends Nightclub, are y'all ready? The one name, we got this rock and roll, Bell Speed. Come on, kid, it's on the back, let's go. Let's go. Pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it for the pimp, pimp, pimp. Pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it for the pimp, pimp, pimp. Pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it for the pimp, pimp, pimp. Pop it, pop it, pop it. Come on, kitty. Oh, sing it for my ladies, kid.
Okay. Can I get the lights?
As we continue our Throwback Thursday, we gonna crank it out with you with a little TCB.
Okay. Bust it, 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 bust it wide open, bust it, bust it wide open, bust it, 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 bust it wide open, bust it, bust it wide open, bust it, 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 bust it wide open, bust it wide open. Okay. Bust it, 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 bust it wide open. Then I tell you bring it back. Bust it wide open. Then I tell you spotlight, bust it wide open. Then I tell you Trinidad. Bust it wide open. Bust it wide open. Bust it wide open. Then I tell you bring it back. Bust it wide open. Then I tell you bust it wide open. Then I tell you bring it back. Bust it, 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 bust it wide open, bust it wide open, bust it, 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 bust it wide open, bust it wide open, bust it, 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 bust it wide open, bust it wide open, yes, baby, bust it, 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 yeah, bust it, 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 bust it. Girl, you know I like that. Girl, I like it from the back. Girl, you know I like that. Girl, I like it from the back. Girl, you know I like that. Girl, I like it from the back. Girl, I like it like that. Sing it now, squeal. Bust it, bust it, bust it, bust it. What we tell us, squeal? Bust it wide open. Tell you bring it back. Okay. Bust it wide open. Then I tell you side boys tell them. Bust it wide open. Then I tell you rich ball get them. Bust it wide open. Bust it wide open. Do it. Bust it wide open. Then I tell you bring it back. You gotta bust it wide open. Then I tell you bring it back. You gotta bust it wide open. Hey, I come. Bring it back. Bust it, 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 bust it wide open. Bust it wide open. Bust it, 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 bust it wide open. Bust it wide open. Bust it, 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 bust it wide open. Bust it wide open. Bust it, 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 bust it. Girl, I like it like that. Girl, I like it from the back. Girl, I like it like that. Girl, world from the back. Girl, I like it like that. Starlight from the back. Girl, I like it like that. Bust it, 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 bust it wide open. Bust it wide open. Bust it, 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 bust it wide open. Bust it wide open. Bust it, 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 bust it wide open. Bust it wide open. Bust it, 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 bust it.
As we continue our Throwback Thursday. This one right here is ABM. Throw that 8 in a circle. You tune into the GoWIN Radio Show right here on GoGo Radio Live. Windy 2 Radio. That right there was ABM. Throw that 8 in a circle. You know what I'm saying? That good old crank. And speaking of ABM, you can be expecting them real soon in the concert, the Iverson concert series that we're going to be having right here. But at this time and moment, we have a very special guest caller in. Caller, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. Let me give you a little volume real quick here. All right. So when I'm about to introduce this gentleman right here, he goes by the name of Eugene Thorpe, and I believe are you one of the producers for the documentary?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so if y'all been tuned in, which I'm sure you have been, this gentleman right here, I've been running a commercial for a documentary that's getting ready to come out next Monday. Am I correct, Eugene?
Yes.
Okay, and so in that documentary is something that Miss Lady and I we profess and we talk about every time we hit the airwaves, and that's about our love for our music, our culture right here in the D.C. metropolitan area that we call go-go music. And this gentleman right here, Mr. Thorpe, has done a documentary on the music and the culture, I believe. And he is here live with us on the line. Mr. Thorpe, thank you for joining the GoWIN radio show.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So, as you may not know, we are aired on both stations, GoGo Radio Live and Win DC Radio. Win DC Radio, which is my station for my independent artists, and GoGo Radio Live, which has been known throughout the world as the premier go-go radio station that promotes and markets the music and the genre and the culture. So,
yes,
Mr. Holden, tell everybody, what was it for you to come up with this documentary?
What that is, I want to say we started with I work for the Office of Cable Television, Film, Music, and Entertainment, which is a city agency that governs the 3 TV stations, 13, 16, and 99. So we do all of the mayor's press conferences, we do all of the special events, and we also have an entertainment sector that we had been working on. So this is something that had come about as part of the new programming for this coming year. They had wanted to put a documentary together on the history of go-go, and it's something that I had wanted to do for a long time because I grew up here. I moved here from New Jersey when I was in the 5th grade. I heard my first go-go tape in the 7th grade. I did my first live show with a go-go band in the 9th grade. So from then on, it has always been part of my upbringing and development. And there's so many things that I learned from this music. This was my way of saying thank you to them. That's basically what this is about.
When you said your first go-go show and your first PA tape, what was your first go-go PA tape?
The first PA tape I heard, it was either Pump Blenders or Peacemakers. I remember there was a P on the label of the tape, but I think it was Peacemakers was the first band, the first go-go band I heard. The first PA tape I heard was Peacemakers.
Okay, well you going way back. So and your first go-go show?
The first go-go show I did, actually, EU, came to my high school out in Maryland, and that was one of the first shows where I did live sound. So I was doing some of the live sound for the band at my high school. And that was the first one, and then I started working for a couple of sound companies. So then I started doing sound for a lot of other bands like Air Raid and people like that.
Oh, okay, all right. So, what sound company did you work with back in the day?
There was one called L&M that fizzled a few years after, and then there was another one called Light Show. Both of the companies fizzled before I got out of high school.
Okay.
But that was my experience. That was my lugging cabinets, miking drums. That was my first experience with this whole thing.
Oh, okay. So what high school did you go to?
I went to Albert Einstein in Kensington.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Einstein. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Montgomery County.
Yeah.
So
this was in like between like 83 and 86.
Okay. So yeah, that to me some of the golden years of where go-go was really popping. So let me ask you, so once you had the opportunity to put together this documentary, I mean, was there any push and pull from within your organization that you work with?
There was, because I think the way we had originally sort of sketched things out, we looked at it, they wanted to sort of decide what the approach would be. My approach from day one was I always wanted this to be about the musicians, because any other documentary you've ever seen about go-go, the musicians are always the afterthought. You know, there was always, there was some violence, somebody got shot, somebody got killed, and then, oh yeah, by the way, there was a band that played.
Right.
So I wanted to take the exact opposite approach and start with the bands. The thing that makes the thing that makes this the most important to me is this is the bands themselves, how they got started. This isn't a narrator telling you how Trouble Funk began. This is Big Tony telling you how Trouble Funk began.
Right.
And the same thing with Essence, and the same thing with EU. All of the stories are from the people who made the story.
Okay, and that makes for a very valid type of documentary. How long did it take you to work on this documentary?
We started in January, and it's September now, so we've done about 8 months worth of. We did about 2 years worth of work in 8 months.
Okay. So now that you've put in hours and hours of footage and interviews together, how was that process as far as working within the go-go community? Was it tiresome? Was it? I mean, did you get in touch with everybody you needed to? How did that all work out?
We did. We contacted as many people as we could. We didn't hear back from everybody that we wanted to. The thing that's funny about this, and I know you know this is a very insulated community, and for you to be on the outside of that requires a certain level of trust. So that was the first thing that we had to work on, was gaining everyone's trust.
Right.
That was the first thing. When Mo, the manager from Junkyard, when Mo first called me back, Mo's first question was, "Are you from here?"
Right.
Because that's what was important to him, that somebody from here was trying to tell this story.
Yeah.
And I think what happened was, once that word got out, like, okay, no, this guy is okay, you can go ahead and do that. Then we started to hear back from people. Then it got easier to schedule interviews and talk to people and everything like that. But that was the first level of it, was getting that trust and acceptance. That was first.
That I know, like you said, and that's why I asked the question. How did that go about? Because a lot of, like you said, you used the adjective of insulated. I just feel like, being in this field as long as I've been in it as well, is we've seen a lot of people come and go within it, especially people that talked about doing documentaries and whatnot. And a lot of times we don't see what happened with that footage that, they came in and got exclusive footage of, or exclusive interviews. You never know what ends up happening with that, because it never pans out for whatever reason, or they just take it and take it somewhere like the music has been done back in the day. Speaking of Mo Shorter, when they went up to Def Jam back in the day, and they did some tracks, and next thing you know, they're being played on Salt and Pepper songs or Herbie Love Bug songs and things of this nature. So it's hard for the community to gain that trust when we've been burnt as often as we have been.
Yes. Yes, and that was part, and that was part of some of the things that we wanted to talk about in the documentary is why that is. So you see so we talk about what happened with Good to Go, the first Go-Go movie. Mm-hmm. We talk about those things that happened with that. We talk about how that led to there being a Go-Go Live at the Capitol Center.
Right, right.
You see what I'm saying? So all of these things. So this is a magnificently unique place. This doesn't happen anywhere else on Earth.
That's right.
There's no other place like this where you have a local music scene, where you have local bands that do the equivalent of a national tour without going anywhere.
Right. That's absolutely right.
They do just as many dates. They do just as many dates as people on national tours, and they go home and sleep in their own bed.
Yeah, that's right.
And that doesn't happen. And they play to 12. You know, a local band is lucky to get 50 to 60 people at a gig. These bands regularly play to 12 to 1,500 people.
Right.
That does not happen anywhere else.
Well, let me ask you, as far as the documentary, you said you're going to tell the story as far as how things derive, but are there any potential or main focuses that the documentary touches on?
What we tried to do is we went with the start of one of the first things we started with was one of the first questions asked were who were the first 5 go-go bands? And that in itself generated a conversation as to who the first 5 go-go bands actually were. So once we sort of arrived at, okay, we're talking mainly about Chuck Brown, Trouble Funk, Experience Unlimited, Rare Essence, and Junkyard. Okay, so we started with those 5, and we had them say where they came from. How did Junkyard come about? How did Trouble Funk come about? How did EU come about? So we started there, and we sort of led everybody from their genesis, from where they started, and brought them all the way up to what they're doing right now.
Well, how much of the history of this documentary is it from? I mean, what's the time frame? I mean, from what do you cover?
The time frame is roughly from about 1977 when Chuck put out his first record. So it starts at about 1977 up to today.
Oh, so you cover that's a lot of history right there. Essentially, a little bit.
Now, I will say this: did we get everything that happened in 40 years in 90 minutes? No, we didn't get everything in because it's impossible. It's too many stories. It's too much stuff. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But what we tried to do is present sort of a catalog overview. So even if you're in Indiana or Texas or somewhere like that, you could look at this and have by the time it was done, have a pretty good overview. Okay, I know who they are. I know who they are. I know who they got started. It gives you sort of an overview of the music scene and the people in it.
Well, this documentary is going to be shown once again this Monday at the Lincoln Theater. What's the time on it?
It is from 6 to 10.
6 to 10 p.m. So,
and it is a free event.
Exactly, free event. All you need to do is RSVP. How do you get the RSVP? Hello?
You can do you can do the RSVP on the. Go to 202creates.com and the RSVP is right there.
202creates.com. 202creates.com. Okay. So, other than yourself, who all is involved with this documentary?
We had there were a few guys.
I'm sorry. As far as putting it
together.
As far as putting it together. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
I said, as far as putting it together. You're one of the executive producers, correct?
No, I am the writer and the director. I shot the interviews. I did all the interviews.
Oh, okay.
I did. Yeah, we did a whole lot. You know, we went out to Backyard's rehearsal space and we interviewed them out there. And so yeah, we did a whole lot.
Okay. So from 6 to 10 p.m. at the Lincoln Theater this Monday.
At the Lincoln Theater this Monday. Right. Yep. Come check it out.
So what can we expect? Because you said the movie or the documentary is an hour and a half. So what are we expecting? Yes. What else is going on? What else is going to be on the playlist, as they say, for this Monday?
Basically what it does is it like I said, it takes you from Chuck Brown first getting started. And my whole thing is this: if I can make you say, I didn't know that one time in 90 minutes, then it worked.
No, I'm sorry.
Because that's what
I didn't
that's
mean
what we want to be able to do.
I didn't mean the documentary within itself. I mean, as far as the whole evening, from 6 to 10 p.m., what can we expect to be going on? I mean, do you have any other surprises?
Basically, there'll be it's a black and white affair. So instead of a red carpet, we're going to have a black carpet.
Oh, okay.
And we'll start with that. And then we'll have a bit of a reception just prior. And we'll have a networking session so everybody can come talk and just get up with your favorite go-go cats. And then we'll start the film right after that.
Okay. So is there any say 202 creates now? Is that something that because we've noticed lately, especially with the mayor putting her name on Chuck Brown Day now? Is this something? Is this a new agenda from this administration to actually finally give go-go its place within DC cultural history?
I think it is. I think it's something that this Mayor Bowser and her administration they want to make sure that in this era of new things coming to the city, new development coming to the city, new people coming to the city, that the things that were there don't get left behind. And I think that's part of this. That's why they wanted to do this documentary, to not only present it to the people that were here, to the people that have been here, but to also present it to the new people who have just got here.
So essentially introduce them to what DC is all about. This is our own homegrown.
Yes. This is one of the most unique things about the city. And when you have this influx of people coming in, and these people are curious, they want to know. They want to know, what is this? What is it about? Tell me about it. They want to know.
Interesting. I really wish that you and I had an opportunity to really sit down and talk, because this platform, which we developed quite some time ago for our go-go culture, and it was really developed so the go-go itself have its own voice as within the media, and so
right.
So we felt like if somebody was doing a documentary, we really wish that somebody came through and implemented the historical significance of what we was able to bring to the culture. But with that being said, is there any other people or surprises or special guests that we should be looking forward that's in the documentary?
Well, we tried to get as many people as we could, and we tried to make sure everybody that we got had something to contribute. It's kind of funny. We're sort of like a We Are the World kind of situation. You have all the all-stars from this entire thing. So you want to make sure that everyone has a contribution. Everyone has something to add, something to say. So it was a real balancing act that we worked through. But I think we came out with something pretty good.
Okay. So There it is. So you said black.
And the thing is, I want this to be the start of conversations, the continuation of conversations about go-go. This isn't like the definitive end-all, be-all. This contributes to a larger conversation.
Well, prior to you coming in on this conversation, or for this interview, we was playing some bounce beat go-go. How prevalent is that in this documentary?
We do have a piece. We did make sure that we had a piece that talks about the development of the bounce beat and people's reaction to the bounce beat. Because you had sort of a split vote on the bounce beat, and frankly, you still do. You still have a handful of cats who, it's the new thing and they love it. You have a handful of cats who prefer the go-go swing, the classic sound. So you have that. You still have that. So yes, we did make a point of bringing that up in the documentary.
Was gospel go-go implemented in this documentary?
We didn't do too much with gospel. Think back from some of the people that we tried to contact. So, the funny thing about a documentary is it's who you can get, who's available at the time.
Right.
And that's the tricky thing, and that was the tricky thing that we ran into.
Okay. So, you did say it was a black and white affair. So, what's the white?
Yeah, just like black jeans, white t-shirt, white t-shirt, black jeans.
Okay.
However you want to freak it.
So that's the theme for the evening. Okay. So black and white.
Yes.
Got you. Now, when you said black carpet, and you left it that, so I was just curious. What else? How are you carrying the theme for the evening? So that's cool. So we definitely need to let people know black and white. Is there any significance to those colors?
I don't think there's any particular significance other than the fact that they wanted to just make it a special event.
Okay. All right.
It's kind of funny. If you tell people that, dress to impress, then they don't come. But if you tell them what colors to wear, if you're making a black party, black and white party, a blue party, everybody shows up.
We'll see about that. I think. I mean, we'll see about far as how they're gonna go with the dress code. That's what I mean. I'm sure they're gonna show up for this event because I know, and like I said, I've been in a couple, or quite a few actual interviews for various different documentaries that we haven't really seen come to fruition. So I believe this will be the first. No, actually, it's not. But this will probably be the first one. I know for a fact this is the first one that the city has gotten behind. So
yes.
That's going to definitely make it very interesting within itself because there's a lot of, and I'm not sure if you got it through your interviews or not with various different artists that's in the genre, but we feel like that the city hasn't embraced this music as it should have. So I'm really curious.
Right. Yes, that has come across in many of the interviews.
Good. Because I would hate for it to be artificial, because there's a lot of frustration with that, for the fact that this is like you may mention that we have as well on this show on many occasions that this is our homegrown, just like jazz would be to New Orleans, or country is to Memphis, or rap is to New York.
Right.
This is ours. So why hasn't the city itself embraced it as such? And almost as and at many times, we've been pushed out the city. Now, we're being embraced a little bit more within, back in the city limits again. But it's been a very contentious relationship, to say the least.
Yes, it has, and it always has, literally since day one.
Right. So once again, we want everybody to show up. The event is from 6 to 10 at the Lincoln Theater in Washington, D.C.
At the Lincoln Theater, yeah.
Yes, on U Street in Washington, D.C., in case you didn't know. And like I said, from 6 to 10, the name of the documentary is called Straight Crankin'. Who picked the name of the documentary?
I did.
Okay, all right. So
that was the first thing I came up with.
Straight Crankin'. Well,
if I had that, I knew exactly what to do.
Well, that's what it is. That's what it is. Because that is definitely one of the favorite terms within our culture, cranking.
Right? Yeah,
no doubt. So we really appreciate you for calling in and taking time out of your day. If possible, I'll talk to the young lady to introduce me to you. Get your number if I can give you a call later on.
Yes, for sure, definitely.
Okay, great, and I appreciate that. So we getting ready to get up out of here on the GoWIN Radio Show. We appreciate all of y'all for tuning in. We appreciate our caller. Well, first and foremost, we appreciate our guest, Curtis Johnson, for coming in. And Curtis Johnson, I don't know if you was he interviewed for the documentary?
Curtis, I don't believe so.
Okay, yeah, he's one of Chuck Brown's. Well, I called him one of his original band members, but he's not.
Okay, so he's in the Soul Searchers.
Correct. He played on Bustin' Loose, and he was just in here, and he said, he started with Chuck in 1978, I believe, and left in 1990. So he had a nice good run with Chuck, and Chuck's most more flourishing years. So
right, for sure.
So and also we want to thank. We're supposed to be hearing from my main man DJ Rico. I don't know what happened to him, but we appreciate Mr. Eugene Thorpe for calling in today.
Thank you for having me, man.
What's the name of the company again that produced this film?
It is the Office of Cable Television, Film, Music, and Entertainment.
Woo, that's a long title.
Yes, yes, it is.
Yeah. But that's it. We really, really appreciate you. I'll be definitely looking forward to meeting you on Monday, and hopefully, hopefully you have some time for little old Go-Go Radio over here.
For sure, we'll definitely do that.
All right, we appreciate you. So thank y'all for. Make sure y'all show up this Saturday from 1 to 3 right here for the Iverson concert series. Curtis Johnson and the Eternity Band will be performing. It is free. Yes, it is free. Right outside of the Burlington Coat Factory. They don't even call it the Coat Factory no more because they sell so many other things in there. If you go up in the Burlingtons, you don't never know what you'll find up in there. I can't believe how much stuff they got up in there. But yes, from 1 to 3 p.m. we'll be right here this Saturday. Curtis Johnson and the Eternity Band. We appreciate y'all all for tuning in and watching right here on GoGo Radio Live, Win DC Radio, all wrapped up in GoWin.media. Y'all keep it locked right here. Later on today at 4 o'clock, we got from Boston to the DMV. We'll be here, my main man Ron Boston. And then later on tonight on Bounce Beat Radio, you tune in on the GoGo Radio side, all right? Thank y'all for tuning in, and we thank our caller, Mr. Thorpe, for calling in as well. God bless. Y'all have a great day.
I was waiting for Kid to come up here. I brought a tambourine just for her. And I ain't seen her all night.
Well, Kid, hold it down, fly.
GoGoRadio.com. Go, the go-go.